Be confident, be bold, be authentic, but don't forget to take action. This is Ordinary to Badass, where our stories empower women to step into the spotlight of their own lives and pursue what they're truly passionate about. It's time to step into the arena and become more than just extraordinary. It's time to become a badass with your host, Marie Sonneman.
Welcome to Ordinary to Badass, episode number 224. In this episode, you're going to hear 4 reasons why Brooke Simonson is so badass. So Brooke is a coach, a nutrition coach, but she was a former teacher. So her story is really amazing. Definitely go back and listen to the last episode. If you're short on time, catch this one. Let's get going. Welcome to Ordinary to Badass. Whether you're ordinary or badass, I'm so glad you're here. Today, I'm going to share 4 reasons why Brooke Simonson is so badass. If you missed the last episode, go back and listen. It was really great. I talked to Brooke, who is a nutrition coach, but guess what? She's a former teacher. So she was a teacher for several years, and then she became a nutrition coach and totally made a bunch of changes in her life. So go back and listen to that if you want to hear it all about nutrition or habits or binge eating and, of course, mindset. So go back and check that out. But if you want to get down to the nitty gritty and just hear the 4 reasons why Brooke Simonson is so badass, then you are in the right place. So if you like this channel, you like this podcast, definitely subscribe so that you can get access to all of the future episodes. So with that, let's get to it. 4 reasons why Brooke Simonson is so badass. So the first reason why Brooke is badass, and you've already heard it a little bit just from the preview, from the introduction I gave, but she's so badass from going to be a school teacher, or from being a school teacher to becoming a nutrition coach. And I don't remember the exact amount of years that she was a teacher, but I believe it was over 12 years. So she was in her career, in the throes of it, right? And some issue came up, like she was frustrated with her weight, frustrated with what she was hearing, and she wanted to figure out the solution for herself. So it would have been easy to be like, I'm not going to go to nutrition school. I'm not going to become a health coach, because guess what? I'm a teacher. Like, why do I need to go to school? Or why do I need to become a coach? Because I don't want to be a coach. Because she said initially she didn't, when her reason for signing up was self-serving, which is a good thing, right? Sometimes we got to figure things out for ourselves, or if everything we're seeing out there in the marketplace, everything we're seeing around us does not click with us, it does not resonate with us, then it's time to take action. It's time to do something on our own that, might completely be a game changer, or learn a different way than we've ever learned before, right? So that's my dog in the background if you hear rustling around, my Kono bear, but she went to the school to figure out what was going on with her. And I think that's badass, because she didn't make an excuse. And then, like, the second part of badass about that is that once she became certified, guess what? She realized, oh, I want to help people do this too. I want to help people get their health in order. And so then she did become a nutrition coach, which, you know what? After you've already started a career, I don't care what it's in, that can easily become your identity or your safety net. Not for Brooke. She said, nope, I'm going all in on health coaching or nutrition coaching. And that is exactly what she did. So that's pretty badass. Have you done anything like that? Where you went all in on you? Where you really wanted a solution to something, and what you were seeing around you wasn't resonating with you? Or you're like, okay, I've done this before. I've taken different classes from people or different courses, or in this instance, like maybe different weight loss programs, and nothing works. So then what do? Do you say, meh, screw it, I give up, I can't do this, I'm no good at this? Or do you up the ante and be like, oh, I'm going to get certified and become a coach in this, right? That's badass. There is not a limit for you. There's not a limit for what you can do. Because you're a teacher and being a health coach might seem uncomfortable, doesn't mean you can't do it. Or whatever your career is, doesn't mean you can't take the next step to do something else. And again, it doesn't have to be to make a career change. It can just be for yourself. It can be to help yourself get out of whatever rut, or help yourself figure out the answers, so that you don't have to have a lifetime of fighting with the same issue, or battling the same issue, right? All right. The second reason why Brooke Simonson is so badass is for everything she was talking about skills and habits, and how she said one habit at a time is all you need to focus on. Instead of focusing on a million different habits, you focus on one habit. I think so often when it comes to weight loss or goals in our life, we think we have to go all in. Let's tackle it all at once. Let's change our whole mindset at once, which is hard. It's like when you look at the big picture, when you look at all the things that you have to do, it can feel daunting. How are you supposed to go from eating ding dongs and ho-hos or Twinkies, I don't know why that just came to mind, to like being the perfect eater, or to eating only whole foods, right? Well, overnight, that's pretty hard and it's not sustainable. So it makes sense that you just try to conquer one habit at a time. So an example, Brooke talked about, like, just conquer drinking water. Just focus on drinking water, and that's it at first. And then maybe the next thing you focus on is breakfast. Eat whatever you want for the rest of your meals, but focus on water. And then maybe the second week you focus on breakfast. And then the third week you focus on lunch, and then dinner the next week. Or guess what? Maybe you do this for a week and you're still not used to that water habit. You're still fighting it. You're still resisting it. It's not working well for you. Then don't move on to the next habit. That's something Brooke was talking about, like stick with one habit at a time. Don't feel like you have to move on to the next habit until until the first habit is like set in concrete. I think, again, too often we think we got to conquer it all. We got to take the world on, change our whole personality, change all of our habits in just one fell swoop. But it doesn't work like that. It makes it so much harder on ourselves. I often wonder, why wasn't this taught sooner, right? This whole thing about habits. I don't know about you, but I only learned about it from James Clear, his book, Atomic Habits. And I was like, what? Like, this is amazing. One habit at a time. Instead of setting goals, set habits, right? Because it's the teeny tiny habits that you do day in and day out that are totally going to make you successful throughout the year, or successful in the long run. And I'm not preaching here. I am learning this myself. I am rereading James Clear's book as a way to be like, okay, let's get back into this. Let's do a reset, a brain reset, and really just focus on one habit, and then pair it with something that's fun, right? Like if you want to start walking and you're not necessarily motivated to walk, is there a Audible book? Do you love listening to Audible books, or to podcasts, or to music? Is there something that you love doing that you can pair with walking, or that you can do right after it or right before it? But one at a time. Instead of trying to do 5 habits at a time or make 5 changes at a time, only make one, and it will make the world of difference. So I really love how Brooke talked about that. Just doing one habit at a time, and then slowly increasing it once you have the first habit mastered. All right. The second reason why Brooke Simonson is so badass is because of her 100-year rule. So she said, what can you do for 100 years? what can you do forever? So look at things, habits you want to change, but that you can commit to forever. Things that like excite you, things that light you up. What kind of diet can you do forever? Maybe it's not a diet, maybe it's health changes, right? So then even she talked about breaking it down further, because forever, 100 years, forever, whatever you want to use, can seem daunting. And I even asked her, so how do you move past that? How do you move past the fear of forever? Or, oh my gosh, can I do anything forever? Right? And so how do you move past that? And she was like, well, just look at one habit at a time, one habit that you can change forever. And habits seem much smaller than the big scale of things. Like, I got to change all of my food today. Every single thing I put in my mouth, got to change. It doesn't work, right? We just talked about that. But if it's one tiny habit forever, you're probably more likely to be able to do it. You're probably more likely to be able to accomplish your goals and to do like the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. Who doesn't want that? I know I do. Sign me up. So look at what you can do forever. What habit is so small, seems so easy that you could do it forever. And, you know, maybe that's just getting outdoors for a few minutes every day. And that's all you got to do. Just a couple minutes. You got to move your body for a couple minutes. Can you do, we'll get to this in a minute, the 1 minute thing, but can you get outdoors for 1 minute a day? Saying that seems much more manageable than saying get outdoors for 30 minutes a day, get outdoors for 60 minutes a day. So instead of piling everything so big on top of itself and getting ahead of ourselves for a habit we haven't even established, make it small, but also make it enjoyable. This whole journey does not have to be miserable. I think sometimes like this whole thing of goal setting, like, yes, we want that external reward. We want the end goal. And it's like, oh, that's going to be awesome. I'm going to feel like such a badass. But then we forget about all of these little steps along the way, that all these little micro steps are what make the big goal happen. And something that I often say is like, be persistent and consistent. So persistently pursue your goals, right? But show up consistently. So when you get knocked down and it feels rough and it feels like you can't freaking do it, and maybe you don't do it today, maybe you don't do it tomorrow, whether it's eating healthy or your finances or a goal that you have, you don't do it. And so that sucks. That feels crappy. But then the next day, then you get back up and you try it again. You're like, okay, you know, I'm going to persist. I'm going to keep going even when I don't want to. I'm going to consistently show up even after I feel like I failed. Not easy, but I'll tell you what, it does get easier. The more that you just keep showing up after hard times, it gets a little bit easier and easier each and every time. So don't count yourself out. Take one small habit and try to change that and look at how you can bring a little bit of joy or bring a little bit of excitement to it. So I would challenge you to look at your habits or to look at a goal you have and then write down like 3 to 5 teeny tiny habits that you can change to get there, and not 3 to 5 habits that you can change today, but that you can change over time, like once a week, once a month. Then you add in a new habit. Get used to that one. Okay, cool. Add in a new habit and just keep doing it that way. Like taking the small bites as opposed to eating the whole thing in once, right? Just one step at a time. And it's really surprising how those little daily actions have huge results. All right. The 4th reason why Brooke Simonson is so badass is, we already hit on this lightly, but because of the 1 minute win. And I love this idea of the 1 minute win. All you have to do is do something for 1 minute. And Brooke said, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. Set yourself a goal to do it for 1 minute. So go run for 1 minute. Eat healthy for 1 minute a day. Don't do it any longer. Don't you dare. But just set yourself a goal to do it 1 minute a day. Whatever your thing is, that's going to be the new habit, right? Maybe you're just going to walk for 1 minute a day. Maybe you're going to run for 1 minute a day. If you want to start a reading habit, okay, fine. Read for 1 minute a day. Or podcast. If you want to become a podcast host, then get on the mic for 1 minute a day. Or if you want to become an author, write for 1 minute a day. Do it at the same time every single day and just keep repeating that. And don't feel like you have to go beyond that. Just do it for the 1 minute. Or actually on James Clear's book, he had said that somebody was doing journaling and they're like, I'm only going to journal while it's fun, because they wanted to start a journaling habit, but they didn't want like the do it for a half hour each day or anything like that. So he just journaled while it was fun. And as soon as it started to get dreadful, or as soon as he could stop thinking of ideas, then he would stop journaling, right? So just don't put pressure on yourself. In 1 minute, okay, who can't do 1 minute? I know you can do 1 minute of anything, right? Even if it feels hard, because sometimes, heck, haven't been running in a while. If I'm going to run for 1 minute, that's still going to feel a little bit hard. Like, and it sounds a little bit ridiculous, like, oh, I can't run for 1 minute. But when you're out of shape, guess what? Getting that 1 minute run is hard, or it can feel hard. But usually we can allow ourselves to do something for 1 minute. You can do anything for 1 minute. So what's your 1 minute win? What could you do for 1 minute today and tomorrow and the next day that would make it feel easy? Whatever the thing you want to accomplish is, what could you do for 1 minute that would make it feel easy, make it feel tangible, make it feel doable, right? And so that's what I'd challenge you to do, is whatever it is you're seeking to do. Maybe it was one of those habits I asked you to set earlier. You take that and you're like, I'm just taking the first bite of the apple, right? And I'm going to do this for 1 minute for the next 30 days. And if that feels too daunting, okay, I'm going to do it for 1 minute for the next 7 days. And just start there. And then in 7 days, commit to yourself that you're going to reevaluate. You're going to look at it again in 7 days and be like, can I do another 7 days? Maybe at that point you'll feel comfortable extending it to 14 days. It's a work in progress. So often we put this pressure on ourselves that we have to be perfect. If we don't do it perfectly, we might as well not do it at all. And that's just not true. Most people are not perfect. Well, nobody's perfect, but like when they first start out doing something, like when Tiger Woods first started out doing golf, do you think he was amazing? Probably not. When Michael Jordan first started out doing basketball, was he amazing? No, he got cut from his high school basketball team. So just because you're starting out something, even if you've done it before, but it's been a while, doesn't mean it has to be perfect. Doesn't mean that it has to be amazing. You can do it. You can do hard things. Previously, when I had Jocelyn Manzanares on the Ordinary to Badass podcast, she said, because I'd asked her about singing, like, what if you suck at singing? What if you suck at dancing and it's so hard? And she was like, that's okay. She was like, do you think that a race car driver, like they were perfect when they got in the car? She goes, here's the funny thing. When you get in your car to drive, do you compare yourself to the race car drivers? Do you think, oh man, I'm not as good as them. I'm not as fast as them. I don't have the same skills as them. Do you? Usually we don't. We don't compare our driving to that of a race car driver. So why in the world do we have to compare our dancing or our singing to a race car driver? Just do the thing. 1 minute, that's all you got to do. Put in 1 minute of your life and it could be a game changer for you. Do it imperfect. Take imperfect action, because you know what? Taking action is so much better than waiting till you're perfect. Because if you're waiting until you're perfect, chances are it's not going to happen. All right, so let's do a quick recap. 4 reasons why Brooke Simonson is so badass. First is how she became a nutrition coach. Second is one habit at a time. She suggests just conquering one habit at a time. Third is for her 100-year rule, and asking yourself, what can I do forever? And fourth is she embraces the 1-minute win. So if you like this episode as much as I did, definitely reach out to Brooke. Let her know the impact that this had on you. Let her know what a takeaway is, or what 1-minute win are you going to implement? What 100-year rule, or what one habit? Seriously, people come on here, they bare their souls, they share their vulnerable moments or their hard times or what they had to overcome. And we're excelling the speed which we're learning at, because we're learning from somebody else, from their experience, instead of having to go through it ourselves. And so it's awesome that we get to hear this stuff, and then we get to share it back with them and be like, oh my gosh, this is the impact that you had on me. And people don't take that lightly, because a lot of times people don't reach out and say, hey, this is what I learned from you. This was my big takeaway. So make sure you do that. One badass to another, reach out and let her know. I'll put Brooke's Instagram handle in the show notes or in the episode notes here. And with that, we'll end our show. To all the badass women out there staying in the arena, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, own it and get after it.
Now that you've listened to this episode of Ordinary to Badass, we want to hear from you. Go to our website, ordinarytobadass.com/podcast, and submit your own experience on how you took your life from ordinary to badass, and get the chance to be on a future spotlight episode of the show. That's ordinarytobadass.com/podcast. While you're waiting for the next episode of the show, wipe off the sweat, dust off the dirt, and get back in the arena.